Hey, it's Liz from Brown Happy Accident, and I wasn't planning on making a video today, but life had other plans for me. I wanted to talk to you about the fear of re-injury, and the reason I want to do this is because I had a big fall. Like, I had a big fall. I am, disclaimer here, I am okay as far as I know, and I am taking it a little bit at a time, but I'll explain that as we go. I just misjudged a step at the bottom of our steps coming into the house from our going onto our deck. I wasn't on the stairs. I just misjudged the bottom, and I face planted into the staircase. I fell on the stairs. It was hard. It was jarring. It was sudden and shocking, and it hurt. It was one of those falls that wasn't like oh no, it's slow motion and I'm falling. It was whack. Oh my God, I just fell. I can't believe I just fell. It was the reason I want to talk to you is because my instinct at that very second was so different than I expected. I didn't do that inventory of, am I okay? Let's assess this. I didn't do the, okay, I'm going to just stand up and shake it off. I hope no one saw. I went to, oh my God, this can't happen. I've been doing this for 4 years. I cannot go backwards. I cannot be thrown back to the beginning. And that surprised me. I didn't just freak out. I broke out. I lost my mind. I got so tripped up in that emotion and those moments and that fear of such a big setback that I really needed to talk myself down. I really needed to get a hold of this. So I read in a lot of forums that people are afraid to do things because of this kind of fear. And I hadn't really experienced it until this exact second, this millisecond where I was freaking out. So in my journey of healing, there's always been kind of like two me's. There's been this me that's been guiding me saying, okay, let's do this. And then there's been the me that's experiencing the symptoms and going, what's happening? Oh, I don't feel good. So luckily that first me was at the top of the stairs for myself, because I got to the top of the stairs and all my training, I guess, kicked in. All my training of all this last 4 years and all the things that I've learned along the way have kicked in. And I had to have like a little tough love session with myself. So I'm like, okay, Liz, you need to get control. So you know what to do. You got to start doing some meditation here and deep breathing and just get in the moment. So I took a few deep breaths, like those transition breaths that I talk about, like when I go from one place to another. I took a few deep breaths. I got myself in control and I said, okay, I've got to assess where I'm at. So I kind of went through the inventory there. Am I okay? You know, what am I feeling? And I did feel like, okay, that was really jarring on my neck and my upper body. I realized that I had re-injured. I don't know if I told you guys this. I had an injury from a grocery store. I was at Aldi's and I was going to my car and I hit a rock with my cart and I hurt my hand, and I finally just got it healed. Well, I re-injured that. I did realize that my hand hurt. I noticed that the anxiety was still so heightened that I couldn't get a very accurate assessment of like brain fog or symptoms or things like that. So I knew I could get myself stable enough to get myself in the house and just go through my protocol. I went inside and I feel comfortable telling my family what's going on because they didn't overreact and it wasn't anything like that. I know some people don't like to talk about it to their families because some people will overreact, but I just said, hey, you guys there's an awareness. I fell, I'm okay, but let's keep our eye on me, let's, communicate if you see something different or whatever. And then I started with my protocol, which it's like being a first responder. All my first responder friends that I have in my life, I always ask them, like, how do you know what to do in that situation? Or how do you know how to, where was your anxiety level when you're going into there? And, that's how I learned about box breathing. And that's how I learned about like training. And I did that. I went into first I did my breathing. Now I rely on my training. I knew I had an arsenal of tools at my disposal. I knew I had things that I knew worked for me in the beginning. So I went back to them. Started writing down what I was feeling. That was the first thing. I had a lot of water because, make sure I was hydrated, give myself the best chance. I took a shower because I wanted to loosen up my muscles. So I took a shower. You guys know that I work with a CBD company and they gave me some samples. And so I used their menthol CBD salve to, thank you, Clearly Balanced Days, for my samples. I used that to work on where my whiplash symptoms were. And that felt good after the shower because it was like that mentholated feeling. So it felt like it was doing something. Like I was aware because of that cool of how I was holding my body and stuff like that. It was just nice awareness for me to watch my posture and stuff like that. And I went through all the things I knew would help me. I tried to stay calm. Wrote down my symptoms, really assessed things, got something to eat. I didn't want to take any over-the-counter pain meds because I kind of wanted to see where symptoms would go in case just to feel where I was at. So I didn't take anything, and that was an iffy one for me because I wasn't sure if I should take them to help prevent things or if I should assess. And I felt safe enough assessing. And that's what I've been doing. I have been writing down anything I feel. I've been relying on my training to pay attention to those symptoms and do what I feel is the next right thing. I have been using my go bag. I have been making sure that I kind of test myself here and there. Like I tested, my physical therapist gave me this test one time where she had me stand on a pillow to see how my balance was. It stood on a pillow with one foot. And I was really good at that by the end. And I realized I'm a little wobbly now. So that's just something to be aware of. So I have all these little guides for myself that I've learned in this 4 years of training to help myself through this. And I was really grateful for that. All the work seemed to pay off. And it was like, that was all a drill for these moments. And I'm happy to say I'm doing pretty well. I do have a little whiplashy symptoms. I am wearing a brace that I had on before for my hand. I think my vision's okay. I think it didn't trip up too much. I do notice my fatigue time is a little shorter, like my cognitive fatigue time. I don't know whether that's because I've been kind of restless with my sleeping because I'm a little uncomfortable. Mostly the hand, a little bit of the whiplash. So I'm just taking notes. I'm being aware. If I need to talk to a doctor, I have these things in my favor to help me get through this quicker. And life happens, and it can happen in an instant. The first thing happened in an instant. I don't know why I don't think that it can happen again in an instant, but I'm prepared, and I know way more than I did before, and I don't want to live in fear of this happening again. I know it's in me because that was the initial reaction, but I did it. I made it through that, and I've gotten myself back on track, and I'm just doing the things, all the things. And that's it. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. I know this is kind of raw and it's kind of rambly, and I am okay, so don't worry about me. I just wanted to give you a moment about re-injury. Things might happen. Don't limit your life, but be aware you know what to do, and you've been working hard, and you're healing, and you will continue to heal. And sometimes there are setbacks, and the thing about setbacks is setbacks are set up for a good comeback. So I'm gonna be coming back at you. My drawing might be a little slow, but my brain isn't, so that's good. And that's it. I will talk to you. I will keep you in the loop, and keep going. Keep practicing. Train that brain. Bye.